ツマンおじ今日のニュースを読みます。Reuters China economy grew below 3% in 2025, half of official target, think tank estimate. Summary: China's economy grew by 2.5% to 3% in 2025, Rhodium Group estimate. Officials expected to say economy grew at around 5% this year. Data indicates shortfall of $500 billion, report said. China's economy grew by just 2.5% to 3% in 2025. The Rhodium Group think tank estimate roughly half the pace implied by official data, driven by a collapse in fixed asset investment in the $19 trillion economy of the second half of the year. Policymakers are expected to announce that China met its full-year growth target of around 5% when top leaders gather in March for their annual parliamentary session and unveil the next 5-year plan, touting robust exports in the face of tariff war with the U.S. and weak domestic demand. But there will be around $500 billion in lost demand unaccounted for, according to a report released by Rhodium Group in Monday. China's National Bureau of Statistics did not immediately respond to the request for comment. If accurate, the shortfall could cloud Beijing's ability to gauge how urgently it must act to avert a severe slowdown across the world's second-largest economy or assess its negotiating strength in talks with U.S. President Donald Trump to end the tariff war that has upended global supply chain. In 2026, the Chinese economy is on course to grow between just 1% and 2.5% in 2026, Rhodium Group estimate, far below the IMF's forecast for the years of 4.5%. China's 2025 economic growth story turns on whether investment merely declined in the second half of the year or collapsed, the report said, citing an inconsistency in data showing a drop in fixed asset investment, but capital formulation seemingly still making a positive contribution to GDP. History offers no examples of economy that have recorded 5% real GDP growth while facing years of persistent deflation, as China has for 10 consecutive quarters. Without China is the first, the report added. Fixed asset investment in everything from the road and rail to housing and factories started 2025 strong, rising 4.2% year-on-year in the first quarter, but had slipped into negative territory by June and had plunged as much as 12.2% by October. Officials said gross capital formulation, the investment component of GDP, still contributed 0.9 percentage points to real growth during the third quarter. But the Rhodium report questioned whether metrics such as falling land sales and second-hand equipment purchase were properly accounted for. Fixed asset investment fell 2.6% in the January-November period. The most recent official data shows, driven by a 15.9% drop in property investment. The miscalculation for China's economy has been persistent for too long, the think tank said, and always in the same direction of overstatement. 以上です。